Mbappe.
Mbappe? Why not? Why not sign Mbappe? That was Eric Ten Hag speaking to someone outside Carrington earlier this season. But of course, the Mbappe to Manchester United rumours are now in full swing. They went on that board there before they even started because it was the most predictable thing in the entire world. What I want to do with this video is I want to speak about Mbappe. I want to run through everything that's happened. And I want to explain to you exactly why you should give absolutely zero of your energy to getting worried or excited or anything to do with Mbappe to Manchester United. Because if you thought the De Jong to United was a transfer saga, you're in for a serious one with the Mbappe to United stories this summer. Look, give me 5-10 minutes of your time, drop a like on the video, and I'll run through exactly why I feel so strongly about it. So I'll tell you what, look, who's taking over Manchester United? Well, who could be taking over Manchester United? What's going on there? Oh, yeah. Let's link that player. Is what's happened with the Mbappe story. But of course, it's all exploded after what's happened in this last week or so. All right, let me run through that story. Look, PSG won the league last year. Oh, surprise, surprise. Mbappe finished top scorer. Oh, surprise, surprise. This is what he said before the summer started. He says, look, I'm going to be here at PSG next season. I'm absolutely fine here, completely fine. And then, of course, this week, the story broke that Mbappe was not going to be signing his contract extension. Because you remember that picture of him with Nasser El-Khelaïfi holding that shirt. 2025 was on it. No, it's 2024. He's not going to be signing that extension of 1 year because it's not an obligation. It's an option that he's choosing not to extend, and it has caused a ripple effect in PSG. They do not want to lose him on a free. It's exactly the same situation that existed a couple of, was it 2 seasons ago, when he was going to be joining Real Madrid for free. Well, maybe he was going to be joining Real Madrid for 180 million. I think they rejected from Madrid. 180 million. What's he worth now? But he didn't join. He signed that contract extension. And speaking about what's going on, he said, look, I've never discussed any contract renewal with PSG. The board has been informed of my decision. The letter was sent only to confirm what I'd already said. And then it started to turn into, what's going on here? Lies this, lies that. Will be joining Real Madrid, won't be joining Real Madrid. And we've just found ourselves, oh, here we go again. And that is when these stories became so inevitable. The easiest link you can possibly make in the world. Let's ignore Manchester United's financial struggles. Let's ignore what's going on with. Let's just link the two together. And it started even before that statement came out with Mbappe that he's not going to be extending that contract. Christian Falk, just linking Man United. We moves to Coman, Camavinga and Mbappe. Why not? Just pick 3 names out of a hat and boom. But this was so predictable in seeing this transfer story starting. And that's what I'm doing this video for, to serve as a warning. On the first day of the window, this is the only time that I think we should be having a conversation around Mbappe. And it's not to get excited about his signing. I'm sorry to be the person that pours cold water on it. But I think this is important, right? Premier League clubs like United and Liverpool, we're all interested in him. We all want him. Fabrizio here saying, look, with the Glazers it can't happen, but you never know what could happen if Sheikh Jassim takes over, right? And then you've got stories coming out of Spain saying the Qataris' intention is to sell Mbappe to United this summer if Sheikh Jassim's bid is successful. They've been planning it for a long time. People close to the president indicate Qatari agents involved in a purchase proposed him for a profitable exit for all parties. You go to the French news, Mbappe remains in contact with all Premier League clubs. This is going to be the summer transfer story because it probably will be the biggest transfer ever. Is it Neymar to PSG that is the current biggest transfer? I think it is. But look, I'm not here saying that I wouldn't like Mbappe at Manchester United, because that's not a conversation. Mbappe is arguably the greatest player in the world right now. Any team would absolutely love to have him. But there's only one team that's going to get him. And it's the exact team that offered 180 million for him a couple of years ago when he signed that contract extension. It's Real Madrid. Real Madrid are the only team probably that he wants to leave for. Probably that could afford the ridiculous amount of money he would cost, the ridiculous amount of wages he would command. And that's where, when you ignore anything about a potential takeover that could happen, and you take a step back and you listen to this video and you go, you know what? The numbers just do not match up. And I'm going to be doing my FFP explanation and analysis probably tomorrow if I can. This is a profit and loss of Manchester United as a business, right? Over the last 2 years, you can see where we are. We are over £200 million we have lost as a business in the last 2 years alone. And that will now have an impact from an FFP perspective. Back in January, when our quarterly results came out, we're losing £2 million a week. Now, that actually changed towards a profit by the time the latest quarterly results come out. But we haven't got the full 2023, of course, because it's not finished yet. So we don't know what the results are going to be this year. I imagine it can't be anything worse than that. But Mbappe, right? Go over here. This is the Guardian article for when he signed that contract originally. He got a €100 million signing bonus and a €50 million salary divided by 12 works out to there or thereabouts €1 million a week. $1 million. Even if there was a slight chance that maybe we could have, there isn't one. All right. Real Madrid are the only club in the world probably who I don't know, they've just spent, I think Jude Bellingham's been announced today on the first day of the transfer window, by the way. Imagine that. You're sitting there as a club, you've just completed probably the biggest transfer you're going to make this summer, unless you get Mbappe. 100 million on the first day of the window. It's dreamy to imagine that United could operate like that as a business. I would love to be able to get excited about any sort of idea of Mbappe playing for Manchester United. But as you can see from that board, there's 60 names on that board now, and it is the first day of the transfer window. The Mbappe to United links were the single easiest thing to do once it all came out here that he's not going to be extending that PSG contract. I would call it lazy journalism. I would call it a link for the sake of a link. Almost like we're not signing 60 players this summer. Almost like Manchester United's name gets used by many a journalist to make a story up. Now, I think that if hypothetically, Sheikh Jassim is successful and the Qatari takeover happens, they'll probably absolutely want this to happen. But when you dive into the numbers, when you look into FFP, when you look into how much money Manchester United have lost as a business over the 2 years, what our budgets are this summer. Bear in mind, we were talking about a budget, realistic budget, even if we get new owners, because that doesn't really change the number because of FFP rules, and that's why that video is needed. You're looking at a budget of somewhere maybe around 150 million. Mbappe is going to cost more than that on his own, let alone a new centre-back or another new striker. Really, we need two. A central midfielder or a goalkeeper. The numbers with the Mbappe deal are going to be eye-watering. So don't shed a tear. Just ignore everything. We all witnessed how damaging a transfer saga. I mean, we've seen plenty at United, but last summer was particularly painful. And it went on all summer long. I imagine the Mbappe one's going to go on all summer long. And in my opinion, there's only one place and only one shirt he's going to be wearing. And that's the shirt of Real Madrid. So that's why I wanted to do this video on the first day of the transfer window. It doesn't matter, right? Because if the Qatari bid is... prepare yourself for what's coming. Because it is inevitable. They've already been out in full force linking Mbappe to United, saying, oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, look, you never know what could happen if a new owner comes in. Yeah, Man United and the Qatar, they're always planning this. It's all going to be linked because the links are obvious. Prepare yourselves for it. Don't get too excited. And just don't get swept up in it. We all got swept up in the De Jong one. That was a little bit different because that felt like it could genuinely happen. But just like the Neymar stories are called nonsense, I'm putting the Mbappe ones, maybe not in the... No, I am putting in the nonsense pile because we just cannot afford it. The numbers do not match up. And they are the most important things this summer. Those numbers, boring as it is, they are going to dictate what United can and can't do. And you can absolutely put Mbappe in the can't do pile. You might not be happy with that. But this is just the truth in this video. That's why I wanted to do it the first day of the transfer window. I don't think we need to talk about Mbappe anymore. We just did.